so what's new in this code, at least, and I hope I put it in here right. I just copied and pasted it. I don't really know if I did it right, but I think the HTML here is still a little old because the HTML on the site now, like if you enter Chelsea and hit return, it'll go in a little pillbox here, and so it's. But I don't think it'll matter for your needs. The 274 here is now matching the 274 here. This adds up to 274, and that is a new development, and obviously a good one. The I haven't really checked the math, but I kind of shoot, this little thing covers up my in and out buttons or whatever, but so something got screwed with here. I don't know what that is, but you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so this adds up. I haven't really counted it, but I presume that it adds up on all different levels. I'm not sure of that. But, I mean, obviously the big thing here is, what's happening to these values. Now, I don't mean to add an extra variable here with CodePen. But it is nice to be able to send it back and forth. However, let's just go look at the site. I believe this code is now on the live site because I just want to make sure the behavior is the same. If you need it, and it's not the right JS, just do a view source and get it off of here. But okay, so 5,000, that looks good. A really good place to test is in the East Village area here because the properties are so dense that it really screws up. It really screws with the clustering. So, like, let's say you come in here and everything looks pretty good, right? But then, you click on this, maybe like 6, and you really expect to see 6 right here. Now it's taking a second to think. Let's see what it actually comes up with before I screw with it. But you can see this is no longer updating, like the boundaries are no longer, oh yeah, it did. Okay, it did. Now I don't know why this happens, right? But like we saw 6, and you do see a 6 here, so you're kind of like, well, maybe, whatever. But if you do something like this, usually you'll get a bunch of properties here that had just kind of vanished. Yeah. So obviously the cluster, whatever it's counting, Lord only knows, but you would kind of expect that cluster to say 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe something like this. And then if you saw some stuff on the edges, you don't really mind. It's not like you're mad about it, but there's always at least kind of what you expected, the 6 count, right? And not 5 on the screen. If there's 5 on the screen, you kind of think it broke. If there's a little bit more, you're kind of like, well, maybe those are part of other clusters or something like that. And now here, you kind of don't really expect it to happen necessarily because, you don't have the search as I move going on. Now, something is very, very, very wrong here. But I suspect just because we're working on this so much and changing it up. But like this thing should be so lightning fast. We worked so hard to make this fast. So I don't know what on earth is going on. I'm going to have to do a little testing on this. So don't take this to be, kind of default behavior or something. This thing is lightning fast, so something screwed up. Anyway, kind of one thing at a time. That East Village is a really good area to check it in. If you do end up kind of checking it, in here, and my tendency at first anyway was to, isolate up here because it's kind of easier to isolate. It ends up looking like it's working. And see, I don't know what's going on with, obviously it should have gone into multiple clusters by now. Very, very, very frustrating. But if you test it up here where it's not very dense, it will appear to work more often and give you kind of false positives that it's working. So just be aware of that. East Village is a nice area where you can get it to screw up fairly quickly and fairly often.